Easter eggs and details you might have missed in the trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Why did this take so long? Because there were that many details. Buckle up. First, I'm going to point you guys to the international trailer of this movie, where we hear voiceovers from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. These were lines from their movies highlighting Spider-Men that we know, their sacrifices, their triumphs, and how Miles in this franchise is on a path to change his destiny. We start with Miles giving an intro monologue, just like he and the other Spider-Men did in the first film.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man. My name is Miles Morales. For like 2 days, I've been the one and only Spider-Man.
As he swings, we catch a truck called Red X, a play on FedEx. This was in the first film too, showing that because Miles is in an alternate universe to ours, they have different names for things that we're more commonly used to. Expect more of that in this breakdown. We're introduced to the Spot, a villain that can create portals and holes in dimensions. If you look on Miles' backpack, he has a little Black Lives Matter pin on his back. When his mum snaps at him, you can see the little Puerto Rican flag, showing her disappointment that her Puerto Rican son is not acing Spanish. We get some familiar imagery that's used in the first film, like the squiggly lines to indicate his spider sense. We also see that in the comic books, as well as on Peter in Spider-Man No Way Home. Also, these Ben-Day dots. See, Ben-Day dots are these little dots used a lot in classic comics to indicate a change of shading and color, also distance, depth, and perspective change. Basically a clever way for them to save on ink. This film and the first one also cleverly doesn't use traditional blurs to show depth of field for distance. Instead, things that aren't in focus are just color shifted and kind of faded out. Again, maintaining that two-dimensional feel. Music playing in the trailer is What's Up Danger, the song used in the iconic swinging scene in the first film. And then we get to Miles' bedroom, and if you guys follow me for a while, you know that when you're Easter egg hunting, you always got to pause on the bedrooms. There are so many pop culture nods. A poster called Art Rocky, Long Live Art, a reference to ASAP Rocky's Long Live ASAP. The Way of the Butterfly poster I thought was a reference to Pimp a Butterfly, keeping up the music theme, but actually it looks like it's more of a reference to The Way of the Dragon poster with Bruce Lee. But instead of Bruce Lee, you have a boxer. Presumably this is Muhammad Ali, referencing his famous line, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. PlayStation 1 game called Top Skater instead of Pro Skate. Miles' jersey has the number 42, a significant number for Miles as that was the number of the spider that bites him in the first film and in the comics. The creators actually chose that number as a reference to Jackie Robinson, another black icon. As he flies through the multiverse, we see these web patterns. We see that in the first film too. This is the web of life and destiny, or at least a reference to it. See, all Spider-Men across the multiverse, or Spider-Verse, are connected in this extra-dimensional force, drawing them to one another. We then see Jessica Drew Spider-Woman, who will be voiced by Issa Rae. Jessica Drew was a woman who was experimented on with untested spider DNA after she fell ill, and that gave her spider powers. The look is actually inspired by the first woman to don the spider suit, Valerie. Yes, technically speaking, the first woman in the spider suit was a black woman, so calm down, racist. This version of her, though, also happens to be pregnant. We then see Hobie Brown, Spider-Punk, who'll be voiced by Daniel Kaluuya, a punk rock-loving Spider-Man who saved his universe from the oppressive regime of Norman Osborn and some symbiotes with the power of rock and roll. And if you listen close, he even lets off a little oi oi to remind you that he is actually British in this. Pavita Prabhakar, Spider-Man India, though he hates being called that since there are no other Spider-Men in his universe, he's just Spider-Man who happens to be from India. Okay, now here we're gonna try and rapid fire all the Spider-Men because this video can't go on forever, so strap in and hold on to your spider bums. We have the Spider Armors Mark 1 and Mark 2, Spider-Man from the PS4 and 5 game, Matty Franklin Spider-Woman with the mechanical legs, Spinneret, who is MJ with spider powers, Spiderling, a version of Peter and MJ's child, a Spider-Woman seemingly in the nude, I think is a reference to the naked Spider-Man from the PlayStation game. Both, I don't know why they're a thing, but there you are. Spider-Cop, also someone mentioned in the games as a joke, but they then made him a thing. Flash Thompson Spider-Man, Bombastic Bagman from when Spider-Man needed a temporary suit from the Fantastic Four and they gave him a paper bag to cover his face. Spider-Wolf from when his world was turned into werewolves. Miguel O'Hara, the Spider-Man from 2099. He used an experimental procedure to cure himself from an addiction, but this gave him powers of Spider-Man as well as talons and fangs for good measure. We actually saw Miguel start to recruit Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse's post-credit scene using that same wrist device that he gives to Gwen here. And in the funniest part of the trailer, he says that Miles can't join and neither can Doctor Strange and the nerd from Earth 199999, aka the MCU. That is the official / unofficial name given to the MCU universe. I know Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness tried to tell us it was 616, but all of the fans said absolutely not, that film can shut the F up. Presumably he's not a fan of spider people who F with the multiverse like that, which will probably explain why Tom might not be in this film, but will probably allude to him a lot. Peter B. Parker Parker returns, again voiced by Jake Johnson from New Girl, and now he's got a child, Mayday Parker. His baby with MJ, named of course after Aunt May, and in the comics would grow up to become Spider-Girl. Then things start to get real. We see Gwen over the body of a presumably dead Spider-Man, and at first I thought this could just be her Peter Parker, the one that died in her origin story after becoming the Lizard, but this Peter is wearing a spider suit, hers didn't, and what looks like sweatpants, so this might actually be Peter B. Parker. Right after that, we see Miles' dad fall from a ledge, and Miles tries to Andrew Garfield save him, and then they start talking about how being Spider-Man means having to lose ones that you love, and how being Spider-Man is a sacrifice, referencing Uncle Ben's death being instrumental in the creation of most of these Spider-Men, and telling him that the lives of the many are more important than the lives of the one. I'm guessing someone important to Miles may be destined to die. Maybe his dad as we see here, maybe his mother, maybe that scene where we see Peter B. Parker dead is actually a vision of the future. Perhaps somehow Miles has the chance to stop it from happening, but if he does, it may risk the end of the world or multiverse, meaning Miguel and the rest of the Spider people have to stop him. All the while Miles being determined to defy that destiny and save the one he loves. We see a cyber spider person who I have no idea about, and there's a harrowing shot of Miles falling slow motion into the city, paralleling his rise from the iconic shot in the first film. See, I think this is symbolic. In the first film, he's rising, becoming Spider-Man. In this film, we'll see him knocked down, he's gonna fall. But just like the lesson in the first film, the test of Spider-Man is if he can get back up, which we may see in the third film. In Gwen's room, she has a Black Lives Matter fist on her wall and a Protect Trans Kids poster. I like Gwen, we like Gwen. We then see Ben Reilly, the clone of Peter Parker, appear, Spider-Man Unlimited from the animated series of the same name, Spider-Man from the PS1 game, Kane Parker, and they all do the classic pointing meme because of course they do. And the trailer ends with a therapy session between Spider-Men. On the wall there's even an ink blot test in the shape of a spider, or if I see a spider, what do you guys see? And when the group barge in, there's also a shot of a spider horse. Brilliant. Ooh, that was a long breakdown. There are so many trailers this week. I will be doing origin stories and explanations for as many Spider-Men as I possibly can between now and June, so if there's anyone you want to know more about, leave it in the comments and I will crack on a video about each and every single one of them. I'll see you soon, and that's the tea.